Can you say something for the?
I'm ready to fuck. I've been ready to fuck. My suit's so tight.
So it's getting expensive not now when you talk. So it's getting really expensive these days. You know, the price of stuff is rising, and there's some people they're getting smart about it. You know, they want to leave the 9 to 5.
Yeah, 9 to 5 agenda.
Yeah,
Meaning working for people, working regular jobs that puts a lot of amounts of stress into our daily lives. And a lot of time, unfortunately, we don't have time for ourselves or our family because we're worrying about a job because we want to maintain our living, situation. Which sucks because it's not really, I don't think that's really living your life. You have to show up to work for somebody else just so they can line up their pockets.
Right. I mean, me personally, I grew up here in the big city, and I'm really tired of having to go to these places and report to these bosses and be like, I'm here. I remember the last job I had. They didn't even care. They didn't even give a shit about how well I performed. They fired me in the first year because, I was getting kind of tired of working there, and I was taking like, a few days off and shit. And they saw that as an excuse to hire somebody else or whatever. So there's a few people who are getting smart about the 9 to 5, right? Mm-hmm. One of them being this woman, I don't know her name. I gotta bring it up. It's in my phone.
Robin
Sperano,
something like that. She lives in, I think the south side of Florida, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, her name is Robin Speronis.
Yeah,
and she lives in Cape Coral, Florida. And the city actually kicked her out and took away all her dogs, saying that, she couldn't have dogs in there. All right, so people are leaving the 9 to 5 grind, right? We have these new people.
Yeah.
They're called off-gridders.
Yeah, off-gridders.
Yeah, so what do you think about these people that, have decided to completely detach themselves from city life and not have to pay electricity?
I think it's the best thing you could do for yourself. Mm-hmm. I also think it's a good way to kind of like live your life a little more freely, and we've seen like other videos of people how it affects their lives, and they say like their stress levels decrease very drastically because they don't have to worry about a responsibility anymore. They have their own things. They use what is it that they use for electricity?
They use solar panels.
Solar panels to run their like electricities and all that stuff, and they get their waters from like the rain. And they dig deep into the soil to get like the resources for the water and stuff. I think it's the best thing to do and for the environment too, because that lady, what's her name, Robin? She also created a community where people, it's like helping out planting crops and plantations and stuff, which I think is beneficial for everyone.
So by the way, guys, this Robin Speronis lady, they have taken all her crap out of the house. They took her dog, saying that her living conditions is unsanitary, just because she has solar panels and she has running well water in her house, and she's self-sustaining. She does not have to rely on municipal utilities at all. And because of that, the city makes up all these bullshit rules and kicks her out of her apartment. Which I think is fucked up personally.
It is pretty fucked.
And she's not the only case of this happening. There's a few cases of the city just completely taking people out of their houses.
The state of Colorado.
Oh yeah, can you tell us what's been happening in Colorado?
Well, they say that the state of Colorado is like the mecca of the off-grid living lifestyle over there. So what they're trying to do is over there the government's try to they kind of like zone people out.
Mm-hmm.
So like they'll get rid of them faster.
Okay. So yeah, they're zoning people out of these places, because
They're not.
What do you mean? What is zoning?
Zoning?
Yeah.
Basically, it's like in isolation, and they're setting like these rules so to keep them apart from where they are. You know what I mean? To kind of draw them out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what zoning is. And they're using a lot of like stupid rules, and it's not really because of they're trying to look out for the ecosystem or whatever. It's just mainly because
I'm a little annoyed at this dog. Right? So they're zoning these people out because they don't want them to live there or whatever.
Yeah, basically because they're not a part of their their money monopoly.
Yeah, and what about this guy, Bruce Beach?
What about him?
Who built the Ark 2?
Oh yeah, you should elaborate on that. You're the one who picked that up.
Okay, the Ark 2 is a nuclear safety zone where if there's like any nuclear bombing going on, you can go down there. And this guy by the name of Bruce Beach, he built the Ark 2, which is 30 buses built 14 feet under the ground. And a reporter said that when they went down there, it looked like nothing they had ever seen before. So that's pretty interesting to know that. And they actually went in there and they raided the whole place. So what do you think about them going in there and like just trashing everything?
I mean, it's nothing new, They don't want anybody to think for themselves, They want us to live under their system, under their rules. So that's pretty common for that to happen. I think it's fucked up.
Okay. And then we have the case of
what do you think? You haven't said
Tyler Truitt. I will in a minute. I'm gonna talk about what my opinion about all this is. Tyler Truitt, who is from the military, and he's under violation by city ordinance because they said that it's unsafe to live where he lives because he's not under any utilities. So then you have another guy, Tyler Truitt.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of this going on, and my personal opinion about it is these people are actually because we're in the prophesized times, man. People are getting really greedy. The government's trying to control people, and people are like, "Yo, I've had enough of this shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave where I come from. I'm not gonna be mind controlled, and I'm gonna build my own way of living, so I can enjoy peace and prosperity, and not have to pay $4,000 or $5,000 to live in a small little apartment, and it's these people are smart, because what we're doing down here is we're basically on our hands and knees,
basically,
while these people just butt rape our pockets.
We're just begging for privilege. That's all it is.
And these guys can do whatever they want because they own a piece of land. They think that they're gods and stuff. So yeah, I just think that all the power to you. The more you do it, the more other people will do it, and with time,
Yeah, like you were saying, we can spread more awareness.
Yeah, with time, hopefully people will get the hell out of these big cities and live their own lives. I think it's about time that we started thinking for ourselves. We've been these sheep, and now it's time to turn into a lion. You can't be a sheep forever. Nothing in the darkness stays in the darkness too long, and you can control people some of the time, but you can't control people all the time. All the time, yeah. Goes back to that saying. Yeah. So, any final words? That's it. Well, this has been Real Talk with Daniel Pichardo and
Emmanuel.
And thanks for tuning, and we'll catch you on the next episode.